It was necessary. Sons of Anarchy, Season 6, Episode 12, y'all. That's right, the season's almost over. Man, what a season. What a season. First and foremost, I must say this. Uh, last week, man, y'all know it was Thanksgiving, and my schedule got all kinds of thrown off. This week, I thought I would have to do 2 episodes in one video, but no. See, SOA was on my kind of vibe, on my kind of schedule. They knew what was up with Thanksgiving and everything. So I'm so happy. Now, on to this episode review. Where to begin? Let's start at the beginning. So, Jax is meeting with the DA Patterson, right? And we already know she's on to the club in their involvement with the takedown of the transport for Clay. Okay? The Jax is giving a breakdown. That whole conversation was excellent. Jax is giving him a breakdown, telling him what she needs to know. He's like, look, you got your guns, you got Galen, you got Clay. They're dead, but you got what you needed. Everything's cool. Just go with it. She ain't having it. Jax knows she got played, but they're waiting to see what happens. Moving on, we see, Tara with Bobby, and throughout this whole episode, we saw Tara's doctor side, which was great, to be honest with you. Really enjoyed that. Also, we got to see, I'm trying to remember the beginning, we got to see doggone through this episode, Gemma's motherly side with Wendy. We saw that a bit. That was very nice to see. And I mean, there was a lot of interpersonal dialogue between different characters. I mean, one of the points I really loved was how the whole Nero and Gemma, dad and mom kind of action, how they took care of Juice, for example. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed to see Jax being the leader, doing, making decisions and things that need to be done. And really, the main theme of this episode was it was necessary. Jax even said that. You see, Mark said, August Mark said, look, I had to make the call. It's a tough call, hate making them, but you gotta do what you gotta do. We saw so much. This episode was straight up gangster, y'all. Straight up gangster. Like, there was no pulling punches. Dudes were dropping body fat. Dudes were dropping. Bodies were simply dropping. Period. That's it. Which was actually great to see. It had to be done. A lot of this had to be done. Especially, for example, when in the Chinese, it had to be done. Call it what you want. This is the streets. And it's about damn time. We really, really needed this in SOA to bring the realness. And this is why I tell people, this is one of the reasons why SOA is the best show on TV. It's been the best on TV for a few years now. Because out of all the dramas, all of it brings the reality of the situation. We know the drama is a big exaggerate, but that's TV. But the reality is, this is what happens on the streets. Yo, the way they set up Lynn, the way they set them up. Yo, did you hear the conversation? I love the contact of the OGs. Okay, the way the OGs did their thing. Number one, Bobby, what he said to Juice was some real talk. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it was some real talk. Bobby, and then what he said to Tara, we love it. And then, Bobby this season is 10 times better than Bobby was in season 5. 10 times, yo. Bobby is a huge player this season. Excellent to see. Then we see also the meeting with, the Viz lad, Nero's dude. He's shook. He's all kinds of shook. And he's like, yo, Nero, we sinking here, man. We don't know if we can trust Sanford. Ever since we joined the Suns, freaking, it's been hell. So it's like, look, the mines are off in the lights. Go meet with Alvarez. And you're like, I don't know about this, but you're like, come on, man. If you don't do this, we're gonna fall apart. He's like, all right, fine. I'll take the meeting. Let's go. He can go mix with Alvarez, you know, the mine leader. They have a good conversation. But freaking Nero, man, it's tough. People don't know how tough it is being a real leader. Okay, being a good leader. It is tough as can be. And he's OG. Like, he's holding it down. And he keeps getting dragged back in the game. Like, people need to realize the life. Once you're part of that life, there's no getting out. That's what it is. You part of that life, yo. There's only very rare situations outside of death which you can, outside of death in prison, which you can get out. But, you know, another topic for another day. Anyway, Alvarez, it was a great dialogue. But the main thing that I caught was the shifting lines that was said. He said, white and black, brown and yellow. That was huge. People need to realize about the racial tensions on the streets. You know, stuff has been broken down, but skin color still does matter, y'all. Skin color still does matter in the life. Just what it is. When it comes to banging, skin color still does matter a bit. So understand that, keep that in mind. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out along season 7. And it seems like shifting lines is, oh, no. Jax was 2 sets. Jax and the son were 2 sets ahead this whole episode, dog. Like, the Irish make sure they understand, make sure force they'll deal with Mars. Freaking the Chinese seem like they don't know. Chinese, y'all are getting upper hands. So the balance of power in Oakland, it's gonna be done that the Suns going out of guns like I wanted them to go. Look, man, there is no other way it had to be done. I've been wanting this for a long time. Not necessarily this party, but you got to do what you got to do. I've been thinking about that, and I've been promoting it all season. It had to be done. It had to execute for you. That's what was on. And when we also look at it, Jim was trying to take, going to take Wendy within there, so it was very nice. I really saw the fear. I remember this, the scared. When Tara went to hug Jax that time in about the middle of the episode, she was really scared. And I almost got teared up. I don't lie, I almost got teared up because I thought Jax was about to cry. There was a quite emotional moment in there. Very nice, very nice. Y'all, I'm talking about when they were up at the cabin. Another thing, yo, Tara pulling out the. Now I thought when she was pulling up, when Wayne opened the door, I thought she was gonna pull the gun at first. Not gonna lie, but now she didn't. But as soon as Wayne was, I knew she was gonna pull out the gun. I knew it was coming. And that's what she did, and she took him. And look, man, she was too conflicted to make that deal. She ain't stupid, so she's still going out production. What's going to happen with terrorists? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yo, Juice. Gotta talk about Juice. We saw a beautiful, strangely beautiful. I mean, it's price and everything, but it was exquisitely done. Exquisitely done in the unraveling of a man. The unraveling of a man's mind. Before even revealing to Nero, before even the suicide, I mean, he approached, you could see things revolving and troubling. And I thought he was going to open up to her. I wish she would have stayed with him, because I thought he was going to open up to her. Okay, but then she left, and that was really bad. Really, really bad. I wish she would have stayed and at least talked to him, because she could have helped talk him through. Because I don't know. Look, man, opening up to a woman depends on who it is. I'm saying on average, not every woman and man, you know, if you trust homies, whatever. But on average, in general, it is easier for a man to open up to a woman. Just what it is, you know. I'm too much time to explain that whole thing in this video, but just understand that it made perfect sense. And Juice, like, Juice is young. Y'all gotta realize, Juice is probably a few years younger than, say, Jax, and Jax young. So he's probably late 20s, maybe early 30s, maybe. And so he's dealing with a lot of crap. He's experienced a lot of emotions, and he doesn't know how to handle it. It be like that, man. It be like that. Also, I mean, this episode has some good amount of comedy. There was a Bobby stuff about, oh man, when Terry got back to the cabin, and while he was high and drinking. That was some funny stuff. What was that? There was that one. Oh, the exchange, the conversation between Gemma and Patterson, the DA. That was good. That was some good comedy. That was comedic. Some light comedy there. There's a lot of good points in this episode. And, I mean, at the end of the day, Tara, Jax, man, that rage, though. Understandable. But I have to mention that end, though. Yeah, that end. Don't forget, Juice reveals it to Nero. And Nero's going over to piss. He is cold, right? But did you see his conflicting, he pissed off at Jax, but timing. Real men understand timing. Look, you can't just lay it all out there. You saw how depressed Jax was. How fired up Jax is just. Now is not the time to deal with that kind of manners. Pretty much, Nero has taken the role of his adopted father at this point in the show. So, that was excellent. Like I said, there was a lot of great elements in this. I mean, one thing I have to point out that I've been thinking about, but really, really been produced, engendered in this episode, is I want to know the backstory with Philip, aka Chibs, and the IRA, because they know Chibs quite intimately. So Connor, yeah. And also, one last point I would like to mention before I end this video is what Patterson, the DA, said about, and we haven't seen Eli, roll it out in a couple episodes, but, it is what it is. But, anyways, with Patterson, the DA, and I wonder what's going to happen because they think terrorists, ratted, flipped, done fed. We'll see how that plays out in the next episode. And we'll see how Nero deals with Jax. I don't know. But don't think he's gonna turn, but we'll see. But back to Tara, one last point. The fact is that, Patterson told some great backstory on Tara. No, Tara didn't have a father either, okay? Father was gone when she grew up. And I guarantee that's part of the reason, besides, like she said, it's not just that she loves Jax, tell her, but also that, she knows how it is growing up without a father, growing up without a dad. So that's huge. And like I said, I meant to say one last, but one last little bit, back to the beginning of what I talked about, the original conversation that Patterson had with Jax. She said that she acknowledged the intelligence of Teller, Jax. Thought that was very interesting. She's giving the dude props. She's giving that man props. So, loving it. Overall, this episode kept building. Originally, I was having an 8.5 out of 10, but then I'm near the end, I had 9 out of 10, and then finally, it's a 9.5 out of 10. It was an amazing episode of Sons of Anarchy. So much went down. I mean, what really made it that 9.5 is that Nero Jax moment at the end. That just topped it all off. So much, a good amount of plot progression, character development happened. I mean, incident with Chucky had humor and everything, and kind of icing on the cake. Sons of Anarchy continually puts the right music at the right times to fit the mood, fit the atmosphere. The way they did with that You Are My Sunshine remix, 2 thumbs up. Alright, y'all. I respect it. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the episode, man. Got a little less of it. Cannot wait for next week's episode, and I believe it should be the final episode of the season. Anyway, alright, till next time. Peace.